Welcome back to Out of Our League, episode 7. Last episode, we said that we were going to have Jesse on, and we were going to do Mac Miller. But we decided that with the events that happened after Nirvana, that it only made sense that we go ahead and do Foo Fighters like we had talked about doing after Jesse came on. If you're unaware, Taylor Hawkins, the drummer for Foo Fighters, passed away at the age of 50 last Saturday. I don't have the date off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Sucks. Very, very tore up about it. That was the first thing I saw when I woke up Saturday morning. And I just went and sat on my couch and watched all the Foo Fighter music videos that he was in.
Yeah.
Just to, I don't know, relive those memories and stuff and just, I don't know, cherish him a little bit more. So, that's where we're at. We listen to all Foo Fighters music, and we're going to start with that instead of doing sports first. You have anything you want to say? I know Foo Fighters wasn't like your favorite band by any means or anything.
Well, Foo Fighters, I'd say, is up there for some of my favorite bands.
Right.
I think they just been around my entire life, so it's like I like rock music, so I like Foo Fighters.
Right.
And then, of course, being a drummer, Dave Grohl and Taylor Hawkins,
Incredible.
That's huge.
Right.
Yeah, when you told me when I got here for practice on Saturday, or I think you told me before I got here.
I shot you a text, yeah.
I didn't even know how to feel because it's like...
Doesn't feel real.
It doesn't feel real because they're those people that you don't imagine ever dying.
Right.
Or you don't even ever think about it.
No. I mean, I know my mic's going to be falling a little bit. You can't see it super well. You can kind of see the cymbals a little bit. My drums are still set up for practice. I mentioned in the last episode, Foo Fighters is one of the big reasons why I wanted to drum as a kid. We felt it was fitting for me to just go ahead and sit at the drums too, since they were already here. I already lost my train of thought though. It didn't feel real, like we were saying, finding out he passed. I know he overdosed in the early 2000s, I think, and was in a coma for 2 weeks. And obviously that was very scary.
Yeah.
Him and Dave became best friends very quickly once he joined the band. So, hope Dave is okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hope he's doing all right. I can't imagine, what that would be like, losing someone that you're that close to.
It's been, most of their lives.
Right.
Have been together, and it's basically like his brother, I imagine.
Oh, for sure. We can just go ahead and start with their music. I didn't take any notes on this listen through. I knew the vast majority of the Foo Fighters music. You took a fuck ton of notes.
I took a lot of notes.
I'm excited to hear what you have to say about it. I'm going to try to just give as much information as I have on the band, though, just from loving their music for my whole life, basically.
Right.
So starting with their first album, isn't it self-titled? Like, I'm so bad at names.
It's called Foo Fighters.
Yeah. Just some backstory on that, if you're unaware. Dave, obviously, was the drummer for Nirvana. Kurt passed. That's what makes this Taylor thing feel so much worse, too, is that he's had to go through this twice now. After Kurt passed, Dave had the opportunity to join Tom Petty's band.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He was about to become Tom Petty's drummer and decided he had all these songs that he had written over the course of a couple years, and he decided to go to like his friend's basement and just record these 15 songs, I think, that's on the album. He played every instrument and did all the vocals on the songs. The only one he didn't do a part on was Ecstatic, I think is the song off of that album, where somebody else plays a guitar part on it. That's the only thing he didn't do himself. And he didn't want to put it out just under his name. He didn't want people to just think like, oh, here's Dave. Kurt passed. Now he's doing his own thing.
Yeah,
you know,
he wants the spotlight.
Right. So he came up with the name Foo Fighters based off of a book that he read growing up. I don't remember the name of the book off the top of my head, but Foo Fighters was a World War II term for like UFOs, and he loved UFOs growing up. And so we just threw that name on it and put it out, and it popped off.
That's cool.
Yeah. I know my favorite, let me pull up the track list just so I don't mess up any names off of it, since I'm dog shit at names. It's...
Well, to be fair, with Foo Fighter, it was really bad with Nirvana with their titles.
Right.
But it's kind of the same way with Foo Fighters. The titles don't really match the song.
No, not
or,
on
have
everything.
anything to do with.
Yeah, not on every single one. There's some obviously were like the...
Learn to Fly.
Right.
Or something like that.
Right. I don't know. This Is a Call is a good way to start the album, I thought. I like that song. And then Big Me is one of my favorites off of that. The music video is a lot of fun for it, too. Good Grief and For All the Cows were two other songs that I just really enjoy off of that one. What do you have for it?
So Big Me is like the only negative, and it's not even really that much of a negative. That's only negative for the entirety of their discography. I don't really have any, kind of like Nirvana, there's not any bad music.
Right.
In Big Me, he says talked about it a lot.
Yeah,
so
he does.
It got really repetitive, and it was slightly annoying. But it wasn't annoying enough that I'd hate that song.
Right. I mean, it's something that we've called out other artists that we've listened to for, so I get it. It makes sense.
Yeah. And then Good Grief drew me back into the album. I wouldn't say lost, but all the songs just kind of went through my head and then out the ears, and that's not how you listen to things, but
right. No, I get
it went in and went out.
You weren't actually like processing what you were hearing.
I wasn't really processing it, and it didn't really stick with me.
Right.
But Good Grief drew me back in, and then the notes of the opening riff are fun and they're interesting.
For it being like just songs that he worked on by himself over the years, other than Ecstatic, and him to just go in and do this just as an outlet after Kurt passing. It's such a good debut album too.
Yeah.
For one person doing it, it's insane. It's not their best album by any means.
No.
But it just shows how fucking good Dave Grohl is and was at music this whole time.
Right.
Never really loses that either.
It gets better, I would say.
Very, very good stuff. I mean,
Weenie Beanie is another song that I really liked. The guitar tones are so sick.
Yeah.
And then that vocal effect that he has, it's like a megaphone almost. Yeah. And then I just Let's Rebel. That's a note that I took. Like, that's a failing I got from it. It was like rebellion.
Yeah.
Hearing the megaphone.
Megaphone.
Megadome. Fuck. Sorry.
You're good.
Ecstatic. Nice guitar tone again. Makes me want to go on a road trip. It's a good road trip song.
Yeah, that's what I remember us talking about that whenever listening through it. I should have done better at taking notes on this. I don't know. I was just vibing with it. You know, I was just kind of in my feelings the whole time we were listening. Wasn't thinking super deeply into tones and like, I don't know, as much as I probably should have paid attention to.
Right.
But you're going to be talking a lot on this one.
Well, I imagine you will too. 'Cause, like, you know a lot of background information that I didn't know until you just said it a second ago that he wrote and did this entire thing by himself, basically.
It's nuts. If anyone watching this or listening to this, if I fuck up on any of it, comment on it. Let me know. I'm not going to be 100% on all this. I know that. Yeah, call me out. I'm not by any means like the world's biggest Foo Fighter fan, but I know a decent amount about it. So, yeah. I'm also sorry if you hear my mic stand. I just hit the cymbal and the tom. I've got this thing all the way stretched out. Didn't really think that part through, so I'm going to be adjusting
probably
it a
adjust
little
your
bit.
stand in a little bit.
Yeah, maybe that'll help. I'm just going to keep getting further and further on top of the drums as we go.
You're going to be sitting on the tom eventually.
Great.
Another thing about Ecstatic is
it's
the mix is really wide, and it sounds like a really open song.
Mm-hmm. I think that's what we said whenever you talked about it being like a road trip song. Like we could both just see like being in a big wide open like field or mountain range or something.
It's very fitting for that scenery.
Yeah.
Moving on to Watershed. Sounds like Dave Grohl for once.
Yeah.
Not that it was his singing was bad. It just didn't sound like him, and he sounds like himself in that song.
It's the one because most of these songs are pretty vocally chill. You know, it's a lot softer. On that one, isn't that where he got more into like, I don't know, like Monkey Wrench, like Pretender? Like he's got more grit behind his vocals.
Yeah.
So it is cool to hear him come into that voice, and then that voice just get better and better as it goes on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was all I had for the self-titled.
Okay. So then that takes us to The Color and the Shape. This might be my favorite album. Okay. I can't say that for sure. I love so much of their music, but this one, I don't know. I just loved a bunch of it. Monkey Wrench, I think, might be the first song I heard by them. I could be wrong. It's either Monkey Wrench or it's Everlong. I can't remember.
I feel like that's a lot of people's first Foo Fighter experience,
Everlong.
Especially with like our age of people.
Right.
Because it's like when we're young, but we can understand how music sounds.
Yeah, because this was 97 when this came out.
Right. Well, like I was born in 98, but
but it was popular as we were kids. It was
popular
and stuff
for a long time, and obviously still is, with Everlong being used so often.
It's an incredible song. I'll just trying to remember the history for this album, what I can remember from it. So I know after the first album was having success, you know, he's like, oh, this is a real thing. He went and got Pat Smear to come play guitar. He, I want to say, was technically in Nirvana there at the end, but he was also the guitar player for the Germs, if I remember right. And then he went and was buddies with, I can't remember the bass player's name for the life of me. I need to look it up.
For Foo Fighters?
Yeah, for Foo Fighters. I can't think of his name.
Me either.
He was in Sunny Day Real Estate, and that band was breaking up. They were coming to an end, and he knew that. So he went and got him and their drummer to come into the band. So I want to say it was them for this album. And if I remember right, hold on, I'm trying to find the bass player's name. Nate Mendel. I knew that. I'm stupid. I knew it was Nate.
He didn't really look like a Nate.
No. If I remember correctly, I think it's this album is Dave wasn't happy with how the drums were turning out on it. He wasn't liking, I guess, this person's playability. He wasn't able to do what Dave Grohl wanted, which I can't imagine how hard that would be, being a drummer in one of the best drummers band.
I feel like you're in fucking Whiplash.
Right, yeah. So Dave ended up just playing, I think, all of the drums on the album except for 2 songs. I can't remember. I think it was Doll and then maybe Up in Arms. I can't remember what the 2 were. But kicks the dude out. Dave finishes the album. and shortly after brings in Taylor. Taylor's featured in like all the music videos off of this album, and is I think even featured in some of the artwork, even though he wasn't technically on this recording, which is something I do want to address about this album and Taylor passing. Is I got so sick and tired like that first day or like this first week after he passed of seeing people pay tribute to him with the song My Hero, whether that was with a hashtag or them drumming or just the song playing, whatever it was, using the song My Hero to like as part of their tribute to him. And then seeing these people like gatekeeping Foo Fighters, being like, oh, well, he's technically not playing on the song. Like, he doesn't have anything to do with the song, even though he played it for 20, 25 years now.
He didn't write it, but so what?
Right. He played that song more than Dave has, right? More than the drummer did, because the drummer that was in the band at the time couldn't fucking do it. He probably didn't even write it. Like, Dave probably wrote all these parts, and the dude couldn't do it. So that just sucked, seeing people try to gatekeep like these people paying tribute because he technically didn't record the song. It's like, fuck off.
It's so like, that happens with a lot of bands or artists that like someone important in the band passes, like Lil Peep. Like when he passed, people were like, no, you can't like him now because he's dead.
Yeah, so stupid. Like, don't gatekeeping bands is just some of the dumbest shit.
Yeah. I understand the feeling, like if you find them when they're really early and then they pop off. Like, I know the feeling. It sucks watching that because you're like, oh, I felt like I was in this like cool club.
Right.
But isn't that what you want for them?
Right. You want them to do the best they can. Like, you want them to be successful. The weird part is, though, doing it over a death. Like,
yeah, that's not the time for this.
I'll just try to rattle off the songs I know I liked off of it too. Obviously, Monkey Wrench, incredible song. The riff on it, I just love the guitar riff in it. The da-na-na-na, I don't know.
They have a lot of great riffs.
Yeah. My Hero, obviously, incredible song. Walking After You, New Way Home, and The Color and Shape. Those last three songs I loved. Everlong, obviously.
Yeah, you can't not like Everlong.
No, it, especially coming from like the drum perspective of it too. That drum part's nuts for being a song that's not like that intense.
It's not a very drum focused song either.
No, but
like it has not enough room for drums to shine.
But the part that's played is insane.
Yeah, it's nuts.
I didn't save it, but February Stars was another song I know I liked.
Is that one of the slower songs?
Yeah.
I didn't have any notes on it, but I think I liked I probably did like it.
It's a lot of music.
There's a lot of music, and there's a lot of all the soft stuff. I didn't even know they had.
Yeah, you just knew like Pretender and like the more radio like.
Yeah, I knew like the hits, and then I knew a couple songs that were not near as big as like Everlong.
Right. Sorry, I'm getting the timer pulled back up. What all notes did you have for this? You got it.
So I have The Color and Shape is the album. I didn't have the song title for this note. It might have been the song The Color and Shape. Who knows? Maybe you'll be able to tell me.
Okay.
Whatever song this is, the structure of the bridge with the chant-like vocals and scream are the only way you could end this song without it being a more boring song.
I think that is The Color and Shape. I think that is the last song.
That's probably why I didn't write it twice. Without like the Dave Grohl scream. I love Dave Grohl's screams. They're great.
Especially, we're going to get to it obviously, but the last thing they put out, Dream Widow.
It's awesome.
Fucking incredible.
It would have been a more boring song and one that like like most of the first album where it was just in the ear and out the ear.
Right.
It just made it fun to listen to, hearing him scream. And then Hey Johnny Park has like a Red Hot vibe.
Yeah.
I like that. Unsure how I feel about his softer verse vocals, but they aren't bad.
He definitely gets better with the softer voice too as the stuff goes on. But yeah, I get that.
Yeah, I guess I just want to hear him scream.
Yeah, no, for
or
sure.
do like his harsh stuff.
Right.
Then My Hero, Come On, It's a Bop, catchy chorus.
It's that drum section in it too.
Oh yeah,
is all time. Yeah, fucking
drum
crazy.
riff.
Fucking crazy.
And See You feels out of place. That was this album, I guess, where I think it was sandwiched in between like a more heavier song and another more heavier song.
Right.
And it's a softer one. That was the only thing that had is it felt out of place. I liked it.
Right.
But
just not the right spot for it. And that is something they get better at too, is the layout of when to like switch it up.
Yeah.
As it goes on. I don't remember the exact album, but I thought I remember there was an interview where Dave was talking about how he felt like, I think it was Your Honor or For Your Honor or whatever that album's called. In Your Honor? It's something like that. That album's basically like the first half of it is more rock-ish. And then the second half is like a lot more melodic and acoustic and pretty. You know, if you remember.
Yeah.
I think it's that album where Dave was talking to someone about how he felt like he had to split it up into basically 2 albums and just was worried that he couldn't do that stuff like together. And then on Echo, Silence, Patience, Grace, the person that he talked to is like, just put it all together. He's like, make your songs a mix of both.
Yeah.
And they fucking killed that album. It's one of their best too.
Yeah. It's all about we said composing earlier, so I'm going to use that word again. Composing where it fits in without, feeling out of place.
Exactly.
In between 2 heavy songs is not the place for it.
No. Not at all. We do have 6 minutes before we need to re-up the camera if you want to finish your notes on this one.
Yeah. So my last note, this might take up 6 minutes, so it's perfect.
Awesome.
Everlong. Instant recognizable song. I think everybody knows this song, whether you like rock music or not. It's a top 10 rock song of all time, in my opinion.
100%.
I don't think there would be any argument from anyone on that.
All-time music video too.
Great music video. I love it.
Hilarious.
Yeah. Then on Tuesday night, I saw a TikTok where someone brought up that Dave had the lead singer from Veruca Salt. I think her name is like Louise or something like that.
I think that's right.
He had like a crush on her or something, and this is after his divorce with his first wife.
Okay.
I had called her on the phone and recorded her singing through the phone the do 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 do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you can't hear it in the mix, but she's singing do's.
Just knowing it's in there.
Yeah,
that's cool.
That's cool.
Super cool. I didn't know that until you were telling me about the TikTok, and then it inevitably popped up on my own feed, like right after you told me about it.
Because we have the same TikTok.
Yeah, it's a shit show on our feed. It's either really cool like music stuff or just cursed
There's
memes.
A kid slapping a chicken.
Yeah, it just makes no sense. Fuck.
Yeah, I thought that was a cool little dash of spice.
Yeah. I don't know. It's
next.
I mean, let me look back at that track list again to make sure.
It's not my favorite album, but it's one of their better albums.
Yeah, I don't know. Since there were so many hits off of it, like obviously you hear it and you're like, this is Foo Fighters. There was little splashes of that on the first album that Dave did by himself. But then you hear this, you're like, holy fuck, this is awesome.
Yeah. I mean, I think that we find that through...
You got
I'm going to start over. We find that out listening to these artists. The first album's usually not that great. Or it usually doesn't sound like them, at least.
Right. You'll get little hints of it maybe here and there. But yeah, it's more of like a trial run.
Yeah.
I can't think of an album except for maybe like Two Door Cinema Club. Like off the top of my head, that's one of the first bands I think of where like that album, that's what they sounded like for the first 2 or 3, and like for the most part still do now.
Yeah.
But was a pretty killer album for their debut. So, sorry, I don't know that. Your camera died.
That's fine.
I just realized that.
I'm sure it didn't get anything.
It was going, I don't know, at least 2 or 3 minutes ago. So that just happened fairly quickly. We can use this time to swap out the battery and go ahead and change cameras. I do need to pee too.
Well, I'm sure that's okay.
Okay. You'll allow it?
Yeah,
All
this
right.
time.
Okay.
See you in a second.
I don't have a camera to point at. We'll be right back.
He pointed. Fuck.
All right, welcome back. We got a fresh battery in. We're good to go.
What's up?
That felt mildly inappropriate since we were trying to be a little more serious because of what happened. But hey, we're here.
Hey, serious face.
All right. Let's get back to the
We were gonna...
Yeah. Watch the YouTube video to see our serious faces.
I just disassociated, so you can go watch that.
Yeah. Third album. Got to get it pulled back up.
Yeah.
This one is There's Nothing Left to Lose. So if I remember right on this one, they now have Taylor in the band, right? Pat leaves the band. Or I don't think he really had anything to do with the recording. I think he stayed for shows until they got their current guitar player, who they found through an open audition. I want to say they lost another guitar player during that time. I feel like they had another guitar player other than Pat Smear, or maybe someone came in after Pat that wasn't around for long. I can't remember, but they pretty much recorded this album as a trio from what I remember. Nate, Dave, and Taylor.
That's fun.
So it's more of like a softer kind of experimental one compared to their one before this.
Mm-hmm.
Standouts for it, obviously, Learn to Fly. Incredible song, incredible music video. Gotta love that Tenacious D is in it. That's always fun. I saved Generator off of this album. I really liked that song. And I know I liked Aurora. You weren't crazy about it, I think, at the time because of how like repetitive it was.
Yeah.
But I thought it was fun. I don't know. This isn't my favorite album by any means. Like Learn to Fly is an all-time song, but I feel like this is one of their weaker ones for sure.
It is. Maybe it was because it was a trio.
I think so. You know, they seemed like they got everything in place on that last album. Like you're like, oh fuck, we're a real band, got people.
Yeah.
And then this one is like, well, shit. Okay, we're gonna make this work.
It kind of maybe was like a let's see what happens. And then they're such great musicians. They still made great songs.
Right. What notes did you have for it?
Breakout, solid screams.
Yeah, Breakout's a good one.
I was actually headbanging. I don't use I'll like bob my head, but I never like fucking headbang.
Yeah.
So I like that song. And then Learn to Fly.
Mm-hmm.
It has a sick transition from Breakout.
Yeah. They start their albums really good,
They
too.
do. They have great starters. Generator. I love the wah.
Mm-hmm.
And then the talk box intro.
Yeah.
Cool. It's hard to talk about how it sounds.
Right. Go listen to it.
Yeah, that's why we have told you, especially in the first episode, like, listen along with us so you understand what we're talking about.
Yeah, we didn't do a good job. We should have tweeted about it, beforehand, saying that this is what we were going to do instead of Mac Miller. It was just kind of more of like a last minute kind of thing. We weren't expecting it. If for some reason all are the hits of Foo Fighters, go listen to all the stuff. There's some really good gems in here.
Yeah, and you might like the soft stuff if you like indie or folky kind of music.
Yeah.
Because it has elements of that. But yeah, the song Next Year, it's like a Semi-Charmed Life kind of song.
Yeah. I was singing that whenever it came on, and you're like, oh, fuck off. No way.
Like, I didn't even think about it sounding like that until you said that. Or like you were singing the lyrics to Semi-Charmed.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, God damn it.
It's not like a 1-to-1. Like, it's not identical.
No.
But you can manipulate those lyrics to fit on top of it.
Oh, yeah. It has like a soft ballad-ish guitar.
Yeah.
It's fun. The song Ain't It the Life. The slide guitar is sick.
Slide guitar is hard to pull off. It's always awesome hearing it done well.
I absolutely love slide guitar and steel guitar. I feel like you could make it fit into any genre of music, and it could be like in an ambient way, or it could be the melody of most genres,
right?
If you know how to fit it in well.
I love it. I've tried doing some slide guitar stuff, and it's tough. Fucking hard.
It's tough because you have to work on getting the exact sound you want,
right? And
then different guitars work better for it.
That's what makes it so much more impressive whenever it's done so well in a song too.
Yeah, especially in a song like that where it's not needed.
Right. You almost wouldn't expect it to be in there.
Yeah.
MIA is a solid ender. It's not bad.
I didn't have any notes on it, but I think it ended that album perfectly.
Whenever I saw it, I'm not gonna lie, I got it mixed up with DOA.
Oh yeah,
which is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
But still a good song. I don't have a ton to say off of that album. It's, like I said, one of their weaker ones in my opinion, but still a good album.
Yeah, I'd still rank it above a lot of albums that we've heard.
For sure. Absolutely. If you don't have any more notes on it, that takes us to One by One, their next album. If I remember correctly, which I probably don't, I believe now they officially have their guitar player, Chris. I think it's like Chris Shifty, something like that. They got him through an open audition, and this is the album where I guess they were having problems. Like the band wasn't doing too well.
Like as a band, or like with each other?
I think with each other, or maybe just like with the recording process. I don't know the specific details. I just know it got to a point where there was talks of a breakup. And from what I remember, Dave and Taylor got together and like talked it out, figured out what they needed to do. They scrapped everything they had recorded, went to Dave's basement, that they refer to as Studio 606.
That's cool.
And recorded this album in 10 days. Just fucking nuts.
That's nuts.
Especially for having a song, the first song on here, we're just talking about how great they start albums. All My Life. Such a sick way to start this. That's another all-time song. Times Like These is another incredible one. I this isn't one of my favorite albums either, but I do feel like it's better than the one before this.
Yeah. I had a lot less notes on this album,
Yeah.
but that was when I noticed that I was taking a lot of notes.
Okay.
But that wasn't why I stopped taking notes. I just didn't have notes for most of the songs on this album.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember most of the songs on this album.
I don't either. I mean, that's the one problem with the way we listen to the music is like we're at work while we're doing this, but we're also listening to so much back to back to back from the same artist that they almost just kind of get lost, you know, unless it's obviously a hit.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's hard to remember every little detail off of it, but still a solid album.
Yeah. And that's where like this is about the experience comes in.
Yeah.
Like we said on episode with Darian, like it could be terrible music and you still have a good time. We're still going to talk about how it's terrible, and that has to do with the ranking some.
Mm-hmm.
But most of it is just like the experience because we will forget a lot of songs.
Right. The only other things I remember off of this album is the Ramones cover. Isn't that Danny Says? Wasn't that Ramones?
Yeah.
Taylor sings vocals on that. He's got a great voice too. If you haven't heard any of his music, he's been in a couple different things. He'll sing on Foo Fighters stuff. He was in a cover band called Chevy Metal. He had a solo project called Taylor Hawkins and the Coattail Riders. I want to say the members of Chevy Metal formed an actual band, not like a cover band. They put out stuff under like, hold on, I don't want to fuck it up. It's, I know I will. I thought it was like Satan something, or devil something. God damn it. Give me 1 second.
We'll just cut real quick.
God damn it. Birds of Satan. The Birds of Satan
okay.
is what it is. So he's got a great voice. So that cover was fun to listen to. And then I think the last song that wasn't one of the live ones was also a cover. But I'm not 100% on that. I don't have a ton on this album.
I have 2 notes. All my life, obviously. It's a top 5 Foo Fighters songs for me. Songs? Top 5 Foo Fighters song.
For sure.
I love palm muted chug guitars.
Mm-hmm.
Makes me hard.
Same.
This is something that Foo Fighters does really well is the melody of their guitar riffs.
Yeah.
We talked about this when we were talking about Nirvana last week. There were the 3 Nirvana songs that all kind of sounded similar.
Mm-hmm.
Foo Fighters doesn't have anything like that.
No.
Every song is its own thing, and you can recognize what song it is. And all the melodies are so complex, even if they're just strumming quarter notes.
Right.
It's nuts.
He's an incredible songwriter. I love Dave Grohl. This band is, I don't know. It's tough. Like Nirvana was tough to talk about because they weren't around for a long time, but they were so big in that short amount of time. It's like every take has been said about them.
Yeah.
I know I'm biased with Foo Fighters, but just Dave Grohl's songwriting is top notch. He's a rock god, and everyone in that band, once they like found their set members, holds their own so well.
Right.
To like keep up with him.
Yeah.
It's just super impressive what they're able to do, what they were able to do.
Yeah.
I got a sore throat, so I'm sorry if my voice is starting to sound weird. I don't know what this is about. You said that's all you really had on that album?
And then Times Like These, it's a notable song that I like a lot.
Yeah, it's a beautiful song, very pretty and catchy. the next album was In Your Honor. So I got the name right eventually.
Yeah.
Best of You is on this. Another all-time song. It's tough to talk about. It's just an incredible song. DOA, another awesome one. The last song I thought was catchy. That's the name of the song, not the last song on the album.
The song. That fucked me up when we were listening.
Yeah.
I was like, why the fuck is it 4 songs into the album?
End Over End, I remember liking. Over the Mend is pretty, and then Razor was a really good ender. What'd you have for it?
All My Life, another top 5 Foo Fighters song. No, wait, I got lost. Okay, we're on In Your Honor.
Yes.
Oh, first note I have is In Your Honor is a quiet mix.
Yeah.
I had to turn up my volume. Who knows why?
Who knows?
Exactly. Best of You rips. It's relatable all around.
Yeah. I don't even know what to describe about the song that I love so much about it. I think it's just like Dave screaming his heart out basically on the chorus on it. It's fucking sick.
I think most people have been there with what the song is about. Just like hoping that somebody that has came and gone from your life, that they're doing their best for somebody else.
Right.
That you didn't get it from them.
Damn,
that's pretty deep, Dave.
About to be crying in the club.
DOA, another great guitar melody.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite Foo Fighters songs.
Yeah, I couldn't believe I mixed it up whenever I saw MIA. I mixed it up with DOA because I was like ready for this song. And I was like, oh fuck, okay. It's a great one. Yeah, I don't know. Sorry, I'm not contributing a ton.
No, you're fine. End Over End's a great song. It has cool vocals. Doesn't sound exactly like Dave Grohl. Doesn't kick in as hard as I wanted it to after the intro of the song.
Yeah. It could use more of a punch right there.
Yeah, I think that's just the only thing that's lacking from that song, honestly. Another Round. I love the harmonica.
Oh yeah, I forgot that was the one with the harmonica in it.
I've always wanted a harmonica, but there's so many harmonicas, and like, do you pay more and get a better one? Who knows?
I had one as a kid, and I didn't know what the fuck to do with it. I was just...
It's a confusing one because it's like easy to make sound with, but to sound good,
right?
It's tough.
I want to be on that like blues traveler level. You know what I'm
just
talking
like
about?
Got vibrato and everything with it,
wailing on it.
It'd be like Les Stroud from Survivor, man.
Yeah,
that level.
Sick.
Virginia Moon. I can't speak. Virginia Moon.
Yeah, there you go.
Soft like a bossa nova or samba kind of song. I liked it.
This is the one where, like I was saying, it's kind of split down the middle, where this end half is a lot softer, more acoustic. It's really pretty music.
And it transitions from heavier to soft pretty good.
Yeah, it's not jarring at all.
Like the heaviest song is probably DOA.
Yeah, I'd say so, off the top of my head at least. My only, as good as like the transition is, and like it's nice them being like kind of separated, I still prefer how they get later into the albums where they do find that blend.
Yeah.
It's the songs are composed better. Like we were saying, these songs are really good, but it still didn't feel all there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like you said, Razor, great way to end an album.
Oh yeah.
Nice guitar play, and the vocals are like soft and longing.
Mm-hmm.
It's good.
Great stuff.
Yeah. I actually do enjoy Foo Fighters' soft stuff, but because it's mixed in with heavier songs, it's kind of hard to just listen to only their soft
Right.
music, even though I'd love to listen to just like a soft album.
Mm-hmm. They're so good at pretty much whatever they decide they're going to do. I get what you're saying. Like, it's tough to only listen to the one side of them,
Right.
since they're just great at all of it.
If
Pretty
you're going to
much.
listen to an album, might as well listen to the whole thing.
Exactly. If that's all you have on that,
Yeah, that's it for that album.
then that takes us to Echo, Silence, Patience, Grace. I don't have a ton of knowledge of what was going on with the band at the time. I'm pretty sure this was still just Dave, Nate, Chris, and Taylor. And probably the best start of any of their albums, The Pretender. Another just fucking incredible song. My favorite music video, I think, by them. I watch it and still get goosebumps watching it. It's not like fun and goofy like their other music videos, Everlong, Learn to Fly.
Mm-hmm.
There's just, if you haven't seen it, have you?
I don't think I have.
I'm going to make you watch it
It's
when
not
we're done
ringing a
then.
bell.
I used to have this and the Long Road to Ruin music videos on my iPod whenever I was in like elementary school, and I would just watch them all the time. The Pretender music video is they're in this big warehouse, and they've got this like white backdrop behind them, and it's just the four of them playing in this big warehouse, just shredding. And then like a riot cop walks up to this line and is just staring at them, and then a whole line of them come out, and there's just a wall of riot cops staring them down. Whenever it gets to that bridge where everything drops out and it's just the guitar, slowly strumming and Dave singing softly, they're running at the band, and then it cuts, and whenever the music punches back in, blood, red water starts pouring out of the wall that was behind them.
Oh.
And just starts like flooding the band and all the riot cops, and the shots of the band playing with just this fuck ton of red water just drowning over them is so sick. It's all time.
It's such a simple idea.
Yeah, it there's not a ton to it, but the visuals of it are amazing. Like, if you haven't seen it, go watch it. It gives me goosebumps. Going down the track list, though, The Pretender, Let It Die is another great song. Starts off super soft and then punches you. I thought Erase Replace was good. Long Road to Ruin, I don't know why that's fucking me up so much, is a great one. Funny music video. This is where they had fun on the music video again. They're like soap opera actors. It's funny. Sorry about that.
Nice.
I don't know. This is one of my favorite albums. I feel like this is composed the best out of all the stuff before.
Yeah.
I think it has a pretty great blend of the harder stuff with the softer side. I feel like they really killed it on this one.
I think somebody must have helped them with it, or like he took notes from other bands, maybe.
Yeah, I think like the conversation I was talking about that I remember him saying he had was where someone was like, just blend them.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to do like only this and then only that. I think he took that to heart and like just fucking killed it.
Yeah.
And just immediately figured it out is what it seems like.
He was just like, oh, okay.
Is that easy? Cool. All right. I'm just going to write hits.
Now that you said that.
Yeah. Don't mind if I do. What songs did you end up?
The Pretender. I mean, we talked top 5.
Yeah.
I've said that 3 times, so who knows where the other 2 are. It's just a perfect rock song.
Yeah.
Like, when I think of rock music, it's obviously very broad and there's a lot of subcategories, but like the basic rock, not classic rock, I think of Foo Fighters.
Yeah.
And they're like I imagine, the formula of how to make good rock music.
For sure.
And then you see that a lot on The Pretenders. Like, it's put together so well.
Just rock in its purest form.
Yeah. I think we both do this. If something is so good, it's hard to talk about.
Yeah, for sure. And that's, like I said, I'm biased. I love this band, so I'm having a hard time describing a bunch of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I've been excited to hear what notes you took, especially whenever I saw how much you wrote down. I was really curious.
Yeah, I wrote a lot of notes, and some of them have like no substance to them besides like it was good.
Right.
But the fact that I wrote a note down says a lot about the song. I could have not done that because I had to go out of my way to type that out.
Right.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
I also liked Let It Die. You said that.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it too, though. Great heavier song. Yeah.
No me.
No me.
No me.
It's a great heavier song. Fucking goddamn, do I love Dave screaming.
I don't know what it is about him that just hits different. It's just...
It's like he's giving his all.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how he doesn't blow out his vocal cords doing it.
I don't know.
It's wild.
It always gives me like chills whenever he gets into that mode where he's just going off. You know, it's incredible. I wish I was half the musician Dave Grohl is.
Like, that was a quarter of Dave Grohl.
Yeah. Fucking awesome.
Also liked Home. It's a sad song.
Mm-hmm.
Love the piano. First time you hear piano in a Foo Fighters song.
I'm pretty sure it was Taylor playing it. I could be wrong.
You said that while we were listening.
I could be wrong, but I thought Taylor plays piano quite a bit. I think even on like his Taylor Hawkins and the Coattail Rider stuff, I thought I heard he plays piano. Could be wrong. If you know, let me know. But it's a great ender song for this album.
It fits in with the softer end of the album.
Yeah.
Perfectly.
That's it for this album?
That was it for this album, yeah.
Well, that's perfect timing because we need to restart these cameras. I need to restart my brain.
Take a second.
Take a second. We'll be right back.
Oh, God. 2-2.
When the fuck did that happen? Okay, hold on. Cameras are still rolling right now. I've got the Islanders Blue Jackets game on. Islanders have been up 2-0 this whole game. It's the end of the second period right now, and somehow Columbus has come back and made it 2-2. So third period's about to get underway here in like 15 minutes. Y'all will probably see my reaction. Hopefully it's good. Fuck. And we're back. I don't know why we do this "we'll be right back and we're back" thing whenever we come back from video.
But you know.
Yeah, now you know. I mean,
welcome.
You're not really missing anything. It's just us
Especially if you're in the audio.
Yeah, we're just hitting stop and start on these cameras. That way the people who watch the YouTube videos, are still synced
keep
up.
Watching.
Yeah.
We've got pretty mugs. You should check it out.
This last episode we uploaded too, before we get back into the music, we accidentally somehow uploaded the video file to Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
We're probably not going to keep doing that unless for some reason you let us know, if you listen to this on Spotify, if you liked having the option of the video there. If you do, then we can keep doing it.
Right.
But our mindset where we're at right now is keep the video on YouTube. That way we know how many people go out of their way to watch the video, or at least listen to it on there.
Right.
So
we're going to keep doing video anyway if nobody watches. But
right. Just for, we just like looking at ourselves, I guess. Well, I don't like looking at me, but I'll look at you.
I'll look at you.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Wasting light. So the notes I know for this album are Pat is back in the band.
Pat Schmier?
Yep. He's back in the band. What a crazy name, too.
That's an unfortunate name.
It's kind of sick, though.
Yeah.
He's back in the band. If I remember correctly, they recorded this album in like a fucking tent that they set up in like Dave's backyard, not like a camping tent. You know,
like
a big
like
event tent,
like a circus tent.
Yeah, they set one of those up. They had Vince Gill, I think is his name. He produced a bunch of stuff for Nirvana. Or it might be like Butch Gill. I can't remember.
Somebody with gills.
Yeah.
A fish.
He produced this album, and they recorded it all analog. They didn't use computers to record any of it. And if you're like a music nerd or whatever, like you can hear a difference. I feel like it adds warmth to the sound of everything. I remember this album coming out. Whenever I heard it was coming out, I went to Walmart and just immediately bought it, and it had like a documentary of them making the album with the CD too. I just watched that over and over. Again, incredible first song. Bridge Burning is so sick. I love the majority of this album. I'll just rattle off the songs. Bridge Burning, Rope, I feel like isn't a really solid song. Dear Rosemary is softer, but I still love it. White Limo is good. If I remember correct, it might just be the music video, but Lenny from Motorhead is in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That might just be the music video. These Days is a great one. And Miss the Misery is another one I love. Walk is a good last song. I kind of got burnt out on it because that was one that got played a lot on the radio at the time. Yeah. So I was kind of tired of it, but it's still a really good song.
It's another hit, but it's not one of my favorite hits.
Not at all. What do you think of this one?
I don't really remember this album that much.
Oh, really?
But Bridge Burning has everything I love about Foo Fighters.
Yeah.
It has Dave screaming, melodic guitars, and amazing guitar leads.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's just like not really a solo, but lead.
Sorry, I'm not helping you out at all.
You looked over and I looked over.
I'm just letting you die over
there. Rope.
Mm-hmm.
Great song.
That's the one where it's like dun 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 dun, right?
Yeah.
Love that intro.
I love Rope for the same reason that I liked Bridge Burning. It has everything you want from Foo Fighters in it.
Yeah.
Vocal harmonies on the verses. I loved it. It fit really well, and I think that was the first time they did a harmony like that so far.
Yeah, I know Taylor would do a bunch of backup vocals on stuff, but that one really stands out.
Yeah, I can hear the song in my head now.
Mm-hmm.
After reading that note, I can hear it. Yeah, great song. It's also the perfect song for a drum and guitar solo because it had both of those in it.
Yeah, his fills in that song are fucking dope.
That drum solo, it's simple, but it's
very effective.
Fucking sick.
Yeah, that's another great music video too. It's nothing super crazy. They're in a small room where all the walls, I think even the floor and ceiling, light up. And so the video quality at first looks pretty shitty. It's like pretty grainy. It just looks old. You know what I mean? And then they get into I think like that section where Taylor's doing his fills, his solo, and then the guitar solo comes in. They're just backlit. All you can see is their black silhouette and then the white light behind them. And then at the end of the song, all the lights just start strobing colors. It's really cool.
I gotta go look through their music videos.
I'm just gonna send you all my favorites.
I know I've watched the Everlong one.
Yeah.
But I think that's it.
Oh, okay. There's some great ones. I'll send you links to all my favorite ones from them.
Dope.
What else you got?
White Limo. Kind of more metal.
Yeah.
Like a more metal song rather than, I wouldn't say it's
rock.
It's not basic, but it's like I said earlier, it's rock.
Right.
It's not like a subcategory of rock. It's like the basic version of rock.
Mm-hmm.
And then Walk. Okay, here's the fourth one. Another top 5.
Oh, you got one left.
I guess I liked it a lot. I don't know if I wrote that again. I didn't. I don't see 5 anywhere because I typed the number 5.
Well, I'm sure you'll be able to pick one out of these next albums.
Yeah, I'm sure I will if I remember the song.
Yeah. It's one of my favorite albums. I don't know if it's just like the nostalgia, like the memory of like going and buying that CD myself and like just playing it in my car all the time.
Nostalgia helps a lot.
Yeah.
I remembered the Pretender a lot. There's an album, maybe it was like a greatest hits or like that something, but the album cover for what album is that's on?
Echo Silent. Yeah.
It looked different when I had that album on Apple Music. Like the album cover was like the side of a plane.
It might have been
And
more
it
of
had,
like a deluxe or something.
Probably. It had like the Foo Fighters logo and it was like red and yellow.
That might actually be a greatest hits thing that for some reason isn't here on Spotify. That might be a greatest hits.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Yeah.
Because I can see the album cover in my head that you're talking about.
No.
I just can't think of what that...
Because it whatever it is, it's not on here.
Is it that right there?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it is a greatest hits.
As soon as you started describing it, I knew what you were talking about.
When did that come out?
2009.
That must have been when I downloaded that too, because that's what got me into Foo Fighters a lot more, is hearing their greatest hits album.
Go listen to their music.
Go with it. If you want like the short version, if you don't want to listen to 8 albums, probably 8 or 9.
I think it's 10.
Is it?
I think it's 10, including the Dream Widow album. Let me count. You go ahead and say what you're saying, though.
What was I saying?
It's technically 11, not including the DG's Hail Satin album. It's technically 11.
Okay. I don't remember what I was saying.
Or including the Skin and Bones live. You're saying if you want the short version.
Right. If you want the short version and you don't want to listen to all these albums, go listen to the greatest hits. And
yeah.
It may make you go listen to their albums.
I think so. And that's something I want to get across too, is as amazing as their greatest hits are, there's so much more.
There's a lot more
to their music where, you don't have to do every album like in the time frame we did, but just try it, try giving full albums a listen. That's what I like about this experience, is it's making me appreciate albums in their entirety more.
Yeah.
So give it a shot.
I'm saying yeah a lot.
I am too.
I need to switch it up to or like right.
Sonic Highways.
I have one note on this album. I guess it was my least favorite.
Yeah, you were saying that at the time nothing was really standing out to you. This was their 8th album. I really liked it, especially because I watched the documentary series they did on HBO as they were releasing it. If you're not familiar with it, every song that they did for the album, they recorded in a different studio around the U.S. I know they did Austin. I want to say they did California. It was somewhere out in the desert. It might have actually been like Nevada, now that I'm thinking about it.
Probably.
Seattle. I want to say they did like New Orleans too. I can't remember every spot they hit. Nashville. I know they did Nashville. If you look on the cover, there's places from every city they recorded in, like big monuments and stuff,
like
from
the
it.
Notable skyscrapers or something like that.
Yeah, it's a cool idea, and I loved just that idea, because they would go to these different cities and studios and try to use the inspiration from that city, like what they're known for musically.
It's fun.
To shape the song, and then they would bring in like one artist from that area to be on the song too, whether it was like playing a guitar part or like adding vocals and stuff. Like this is dumb, but like producer nerd side of me, one of my favorite things they did was on I think it was the song in Nashville. They had Zach Brown.
That's
there.
sick.
I'm not a big country guy, but it made me like Zach Brown because he talked about like his history with music, like how he got into it. He started out playing like classical guitar on nylon strings and stuff. Really? Yeah.
That's cool.
And I want to say it's this song where on the song that he helped on, the guitar player, Chris, is soloing, but right before he goes into it, it's not a quick solo. The engineer, Butch Vince Gill, whatever his name, I can't remember. He's holding the guitar, Chris is, and the producer is holding the guitar cable. It's not plugged in, and he's just fumbling it around the jack for the guitar. That way it's like making this weird, harsh distortion. And they did it where he didn't just record that and then put that in place where it should be. They're fumbling around with it, and he plugged it in at the exact moment he was supposed to start soloing.
That's wild.
It's fucking awesome. Like watching them record that part, it made me freak out.
I need to watch that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I think all the episodes are up on YouTube.
I just kicked my mic stand.
I don't think I said the name. It's called Sonic Highways if I didn't say the name of the album. Songs I love off of it are Something from Nothing. Pretty much the whole thing. I'm not going to lie. But Something from Nothing, The Feast and the Famine, Outside. I thought that one's really cool. And I Am a River.
Mm-hmm.
I liked those. I think the whole thing is good. I don't know. What'd you have for it?
I'm sure I'll appreciate it more when I watch like the documentary, because stuff like that makes me appreciate whatever it is a lot more.
I think that's what made me like it so much, was seeing all the meaning put into these songs.
Yeah.
So
it doesn't work for like the entire perspective of like hearing a song that's just like,
right.
You don't really think about how hard they worked on that song.
Right.
Yeah. I had one note. I Am a River. It's the only song that really stuck with me.
Mm-hmm.
The guitar solo intro, so sick.
Yeah.
That's the way that solo is, that's my favorite style of guitar playing.
Okay.
So if you listen to it, that'll give you an idea of what I like.
To.
Yeah.
Go listen to it. That takes us to Concrete and Gold.
That's a
sick name. Sick name. I'm saying it for every album, pretty much. The way they start albums are so good. T-shirts, the T-shirt song, it's just called T-shirt, into the song Run, is right there with Pretender as far as like starting albums for me.
Yeah.
Because it starts off with Dave playing acoustic guitar, just singing in this really soft voice. And it's just really, I don't know, melodic and beautiful. And then he goes more into like a yell whenever he's holding out the word I, and the rest of the band punches in.
Yeah.
It's very like cinematic feeling in a way. And then the way it goes into the song Run, that song also starts out very melodic and slow and then picks up and is just groovy. I don't know how to describe it.
Groovy,
It's just got a sick groove to it.
Yeah.
Sky is a Neighborhood is another great song, in my opinion. That probably sounded awful on the mic.
Sound like you shit.
I have this whole album saved. I have all these songs liked, so I can't pick out like, oh, I saved this one and this one.
It's a solid album.
It is. It's really good.
My opinion, because I didn't watch the documentary yet. It's better than Sonic Highways. So
I agree. I mean, I think it is. Like, even with me knowing the detail of the Sonic Highways, it's just a really good album.
Yeah.
Sometimes songs having that much extra meaning behind them doesn't make it a better song. It makes it makes you like relate to it or like appreciate it more,
especially if you write music.
Right. This is just good music, solid music the whole way through. What you got for it?
T-shirt. It's got a cinematic hit to it. Dope vocals. They're like operatic. I guess that's a word because it didn't try to autocorrect me, but I thought I was making up a word. It's kind of, I guess that was the part where he goes from like the soft to a yell. It's kind of like I said, it's operatic.
I get what you mean. I don't know how else to describe it either.
I don't think that's what that
though.
Operatic means, but
right.
You get the idea. And then The Sky's a Neighborhood. It's a very catchy song, and I like it because it was on MLB The Show. I heard it a lot.
Yeah.
I heard that song a lot. But it never got old because it's a great song.
No, another
catchy.
Another great music video too.
Yeah. I haven't seen it.
Okay.
But
it's fucking great.
I keep saying yeah, so I might as well just say it.
We're going to eat after we finish recording this video. We're about to have some spaghetti after this. I'm just going to make you watch all the music videos while you're here eating spaghetti.
Hell yeah.
That's what we're going to do.
That's all I had for that album, though.
Yeah, it's especially whenever you're listening to someone that has like this many albums, this many songs, it's kind of hard to like keep
at this
critiquing.
Point, we're picking and choosing what songs we really want to talk about because, well, I guess that's for me. I wrote a lot of notes.
Right.
Almost every song.
Something really had to stand out to make you want to write about it.
Yeah, at this point, if it's just an okay song, I'm not even going to say anything about it.
Right.
Even if I like something in the song, I'm just going to leave it alone.
For sure.
Yeah, it's a great album.
Yeah. Before we get into this next album, this is for you, not them. I forgot to restart the timer for these cameras. So we're really going to have to pay attention.
Okay. That's more up to you because you can see that screen.
Right.
I can't see either of them.
True. I think I have an idea for about when I would need to restart them, but
okay.
Just in case if you're watching this, if they cut off before I can catch it, that's why I'm stupid.
That's why you're stupid.
That's why I'm stupid.
Comma.
Now we are at Medicine at Midnight. I hadn't listened to this album yet.
I didn't know this was an album.
I knew about it. I listened to the singles when they put them out.
Mm-hmm.
For whatever reason, I just didn't take the time to go listen to it when it came out. I just wasn't in the headspace for it. I loved it. It's, I don't know if I'd say top 3, but I was very surprised with it. Shame, Shame is a really solid song. I wasn't crazy about it whenever it was released as a single. I liked it more during this experience for some reason. Waiting on a War, I thought was a great song. I thought it had some really good like storytelling aspects to it. Medicine at Midnight, the title track, is really good. No Son of Mine is another one I really like. And then Love Dies Young. It's just a fun song to end the album with.
Yeah. There we go saying yeah again. I'm not adding anything.
It's all good.
Is that what you had for this album?
Yep, that's what I have for it. Like I said, really solid. They're set. I mean, like they haven't swapped out members or anything. I don't have any crazy history for this album or anything.
They just keep going.
They just keep going, and they're fucking great.
Yeah. I really liked this album. This might be the contender for me for favorite album. I can't say for sure because all their music's so good.
Right.
I'd have to get another listen through of some of these albums, but hearing songs that I've never heard before, great. All those songs that you said, I agree with everything you said. But I actually had notes on. Well, you said Shame, Shame. The drum rhythm is sick.
Yeah.
Gave me stink face.
Now I'm just saying for everything you say.
No, I just catch it with myself saying it all the time.
It's tough. I would completely understand this potentially being like your favorite album. Like I get it. It's up there for me for sure. So I don't judge you at all for thinking that by any means.
Yeah, nothing had made me stank face really from Foo Fighters. They're not really a stank face kind of band.
They've got their moments, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, that drum rhythm's so sick. I'm just like,
I'm really pink. There we go. I think that helped. Sorry, I'm looking at the video.
oh, you're fine. And then what's this song? Oh, Making a Fire. It was on MLB The Show as well.
Oh, okay.
They had multiple songs. Yeah.
Had no idea.
Great bop. There's the word bop. Maybe that's the fifth song.
That
Who
might
knows?
be the fifth. I thought for sure your fifth would be off of the next album, but we'll get to that in a minute.
They might.
Oh.
Cloud Spotter is another great song.
Hold on. I can't see. The ride symbol's in the way. 3-2 Islanders. Let's fucking go.
Ooh, fuck yeah.
16 minutes left, though. So.
It's not enough time.
I do need to bring this up. We were watching the Islanders last time we were recording, and you're like, don't worry, they're not going to score. They won't score. Islanders still won the game. But after you saying they're not going to score, don't worry. They went on to score 2 goals pretty quickly.
What was the final, like 5-2?
5-2. So
Yeah.
it didn't matter. But still, it was that they won't score.
I knocked though, so like I'm really good at jinxing stuff.
Yeah, I can tell.
It's great. Most stuff I just keep to myself, and then I'm like, well, why did I think that? There we go. It happened. Maybe that's just anxiety.
Probably.
Thanks, Jeans.
Yeah. Thanks a lot. Medicine at Midnight.
Yeah. Cloud Spotter. It was a great song. Had a funky guitar riff.
Yeah.
Hear a little funk going on.
They've got some like disco type elements on some of these songs off of here. I mean, I think this is after they did, right around the time they did the DG's Hail Satin album we didn't listen to, but if you don't know, they did a bunch of like disco covers on it.
I need to go listen to it because that sounds fun.
It's cool. It's really cool.
Disco's not really a genre of music that I think about.
No.
Ever.
I wish I would have went and got it because this was it was a record store day release whenever they put that out, and I'm bummed that I didn't try to go get it, but I'll find it somehow.
I think I had a little more.
You were on
Funky guitar riff that adds to the softer, uppity sound of the album.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's what the album is like. It's softer than some of their other song or other albums
For
in
sure.
general, and then it's more of like a happier,
upbeat.
Yeah.
I'm gonna switch up the lights a little bit. Let's get weird. Let's get wacky.
I was gonna say, dare we say wacky?
I did say it.
Yeah, you dared.
This is for any of y'all watching the video. What do I want to do?
If you're listening, we're not going to tell you what it looks like now. You have to go look. And I'm sure you're not going to because whatever. But it looks
cool.
It looks pretty dope.
That looks pretty cool.
I like that. I like the color that's behind you.
Yeah. Go watch the video. If you're here watching the video, thank you.
That was an attempt at a good burp, but it was more of just like me straining. It was a cringy laugh too.
Oh my God. Do you have anything else on Medicine at Midnight?
No, because like I said before, I was pretty much done taking notes.
Right.
But it's, probably my favorite.
For sure. Okay. So this last one is technically Foo Fighters, right? It's Dream Widow and Foo Fighters. Dream Widow is a fake band from their movie that they just put out, Studio 666. If you haven't seen it, it's a good time.
I still need to watch that.
If you're a big fan of like just goofy horror movies where like the violence and like death is over the top, it's awesome. And this fake band that was in it, Dream Widow, they ended up Foo Fighters ended up putting out the music from that movie. And I was shocked whenever we listened to this.
Yeah.
Because we listened to this.
Very different.
We listened to this album before we decided we were going to do Foo Fighters.
Mm-hmm. I think it came out before Taylor died.
It did. This came out the week before.
Yeah.
He passed. I hadn't seen the movie yet. This is one of the reasons why I wanted to go watch the movies after hearing this, and we ended up renting it off of Amazon after the day we found out he passed. We rented it and watched it that night too. It's a death metal album.
Yeah.
And it's fucking great.
It's an amazing album.
Dave's vocals on this, the way he's able to yell, was shocking.
Yeah.
Like you get hints of it, like we were talking about on earlier songs when he starts like putting his like heart into the song, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't know he could do it like this.
No.
And it's fucking killer. The instrumentation in it is fucking awesome. All the riffs. Just like I had stank face the entire time.
It's a whole different band.
Yeah.
It's not Foo Fighters at all.
When we were listening to it the first time last week or the week before, whenever it was that it came out, I was like, oh, I got to let the hair down for this one. And it was just fucking throwing it around. Like it's nasty. It's, as of right now, this is my favorite album just because it's like the newest thing. You know what I mean?
It's fresh.
Right. Encino is such like a hard hitting first song. It's just thrash metal.
There you go again. First song's amazing.
Right. It's relentless. It doesn't let up at all at any point. And then you follow it up with the song Cold, which starts off with this slow strumming pattern, and Dave just I don't even know how to describe. His vocals sound like haunting in a way.
Yeah, that's a good way to describe it.
March of the Insane is another like pretty up tempo, relentless song. Sweet Abyss, I can't think of how it sounds off the top of my head right now. It's not one of my favorites.
It's hard to describe any of these songs because it has like a slight genre change. God damn, what happened there?
I don't know.
It's a slight genre change on some songs.
Right, but it's still within the realm of metal.
Right, yeah.
Angel with Severed Wings is a pretty solid one. It's not my favorite, but it's there. Come All Ye Unfaithful is pretty good. Becoming, though, is my favorite song.
It's a dope song.
I don't know what it is. I think it's how slow the beginning of the song is, and you get these like weird demonic voices like talking that you can hardly understand, and the way it just punches in is sick. I love it.
That's pretty much what my note was for Becoming is dark, gloomy intro, and it's sick. I wrote that down as a note. God bless.
I'm dying.
Yo, was that Dave Grohl?
It might have been. The camera just stopped. Give us 1 minute. All right, sorry about that. We cut off in the middle of the Dream Widow album. It's a short one. It's 8 songs.
They're long, though.
They're long songs. For it being an 8-song album, it's 42 minutes.
Yeah. I think the majority of them are around 7 minutes long.
Yeah. If you're a fan of metal, hard rock, whatever, just go listen to this. It's fucking sick. It's brutal. Wouldn't expect this from the band at all.
It's surprising, yeah.
I knew Dave, I want to say, was in like a hardcore punk kind of band before Nirvana. I can't remember the name. So I don't know. It's killer. And that it kind of made the passing of Taylor harder because this album just dropped, and it's like, fuck.
He doesn't get to reap anything from it.
Right. This is selfish, but whenever we were listening to it that first week we heard it, I was like, if they come, we have to go. Like, if for some reason they tore this Dream Widow stuff, we have to go. Mm-hmm. And then he tragically passed. And the crazy thing about it too, I didn't get into at the beginning, is he passed an hour before they were supposed to play Lollapalooza down in South America. I think it was like Brazil. So fuck, I can't imagine just like the stress, and
That would have been chaotic, yeah.
It's brutal. Did you have anything else on the album?
I mentioned Becoming, and then as you mentioned with Cold, solid all around, and then as that song, well, today as the song was on, you had your hands up in the fucking air like this, just walking around.
That whenever we were first listening to it, I won't be able to do it well. We were doing this joke where like we were fighting to keep the fucking horns down. It's sick. I can't say enough good stuff about this album. Sorry, I had to check the score. It's still 3-2. Yeah. Where do we want to put them? I know where I would like them.
I think
I'm very
we
biased
agree.
though. Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Number one.
Okay. Yeah. Nirvana was great. Obviously, they didn't have the biggest, the longest run though. Unfortunately,
I fully believe Nirvana would be our number one if there was
more.
If they had the chance to make more.
Right.
Because I would assume that Nirvana would still be making music now.
You would think, and that's something we were talking about. I don't know if I got into it on the Nirvana episode, and I just got in this weird headspace where I was thinking of like, what would happen how would the world be if Kurt hadn't have passed?
Yeah.
Like, we potentially would not have Foo Fighters
Music
at all.
in general would be way different.
Yeah. Or if Dave had passed instead of Kurt, what would the world be like?
Yeah.
Dave is just a fucking legend, has had a great run with the Foo Fighters, has been in multiple like movies, and helped with other albums. If you haven't listened to the Queen of the Stone Age album, Songs for the Deaf, I believe is the name. He recorded all the drums for that. It's fucking great. It's an incredible album. It is weird to think about, if where we would all be if the Nirvana stuff didn't play out the way it did. Sorry, that was a weird tangent.
It was like the butterfly effect would come into play.
Right.
Like all the bands that Foo Fighters have influenced.
I don't know who I would be, honestly, like without the Foo Fighters.
I mean, we said this last week when we brought up the what if Dave passed instead of Kurt. Like, who knows? Maybe you wouldn't like music that much.
Maybe I wouldn't be drumming.
Yeah.
Like, it's weird to think about. But yeah, I think they're right where they need to be, up there at the top. I like that. We don't have a ton of sports to get into on this episode. This one's very music heavy. Before we do
it's a heavy episode in general. Our tone, mood, energy is down on this one. But that's because it happened so recently, but we needed to talk about it now.
Yeah.
Before it was not
Not too late, but
it just felt wrong to do it later.
Right. Especially with how important this band is and was. Before we get into the sports, I am going to bring it down a little bit more. I do just want to say, obviously, rest in peace, Taylor Hawkins. Fucking legend. And I do want to get off one more gripe about social media. I was telling you about this. Not only were people gatekeeping songs and albums, whether or not he was part of it, ever since COVID happened, became a thing, we went on shutdown, vaccines started rolling out. The thing I hate the most about social media currently is whenever someone passes, one side automatically brings the vaccination in to their death, and we're like, well, that's why he fucking died. It's the vaccine. And I was just getting so angry reading Twitter and just being like, shouldn't have got the jab, or Well, that's what he gets. You know, they were saying people can't come to their shows if they don't have the vaccine, and look at him now. He's fucking dead. Just so shitty. Such a shitty mindset
It's
to
an awful
have.
take. But even more than that, you're just a piece of shit person. To think that.
Right. You're not human. Like, if that's your first response.
If that's really why you think he died, explain how most people who got it are alive.
Right.
You dumbass.
It's not even just that necessarily. It's the fact of bringing in politics into someone's death that fast and just immediately making it about your agenda instead of just fucking grieving or letting people grieve and mourn.
You could have said nothing and that would have been better.
Exactly. So, I don't know. I needed to get that gripe off real quick. I've been trying to avoid anything about it now unless it directly comes from the band. You know what I mean?
Especially after what happened last weekend at the Oscars. Twitter's a cesspool anyway.
Right.
It's my favorite social media, but it's a fucking cesspool.
Yeah, same.
This past week has been awful because it mainly for me, it was all the Will Smith, Chris Rock bullshit, and I don't give a fuck about it now. No. 4-2 now.
Let's go!
I don't know when that happened, but
that's fine.
Yeah, it was mainly like 90% Will Smith, Chris Rock, all that. I don't care anymore. Maybe cared as soon as I heard about it, but
right. It is a hellhole. I've been off of it. I don't know. This week compared to how much I would get on it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know really where to take it from here to get into the sports. Just again, rest in peace, Taylor Hawkins. Big thank you for everything he contributed musically and just to the Foos in general. There's no way any of them are hearing this, but by some weird happenstance, if, I don't know, someone stumbled across it or even just for me to be able to say it, just thanks. Sports. Before I start crying.
There's not a lot of sports right now.
Not a lot of sports.
We've been saying that for a minute. There is a lot of sports going on, but nothing super notable.
No. Bruce Arians is retiring to go to front office at the Bucks.
Mm-hmm. That's cool.
Yeah.
That he gets to go move up a level.
It is just like weird timing because he was like, "Oh, I'm not letting Tom Brady go anywhere if he unretires." And he's like,
"I'd say he has more power now."
Well, that's fair.
I don't think he's gonna stop Tom Brady from going wherever he wants, though.
No, I've heard rumors of Miami and Vegas, so we'll see. Even though he's technically on the Bucks, right now.
I would like. Even though I don't want him to be back, I would like to see him retire in New England.
I think that would be the most fitting thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's probably not going to happen, though.
Or like where he wanted to go originally, which is the 49ers, but that's definitely not going to happen with Jimmy Garoppolo.
No. We still don't have Baker news.
Yeah, I guess he's just staying.
All the news, like, and rumors just died completely, like, this last week. I haven't heard anything.
There was, like... So what was it? There's Seattle that still is able to if they wanted.
Yeah.
There was like a rumor of, I think it was the Raiders.
Oh, really?
I think I heard a rumor, or not a rumor, just like somebody might have just wanted that and then it caught a little bit of fire or something.
Yeah.
The Raiders get rid of Derek Carr and then put Baker in.
I don't hate that.
I'm not a Raiders fan, but I'm a Derek Carr fan. I don't want that for Derek Carr, and I don't really want that for Baker either.
No, I would rather him go to Seattle. But, I mean, I thought I heard something. I don't think they've re-signed Jimmy G.
Really?
I don't think they've re-signed him yet. So, I mean, there's a chance Baker could go there potentially.
Yeah.
Unless they did sign him
or
and I
Tom,
missed it.
because Tom's from California, and that's where he wanted to be drafted.
Oh, that's true. Fuck.
Anyway,
you had one other note
for NFL. The coach that's now the head coach at Tampa Bay is the current second black head coach in the NFL, which is cool.
Heck yeah.
We need more of that. Todd Bowles is his name.
Do you know anything about him?
He was an assistant coach somewhere.
Oh, okay.
I don't know where. There wasn't much in the article that I read. It was just like, hey, this is happening. That's cool because there's a second head coach that's black.
Right. Current.
Current, yeah.
I didn't even know that was happening. I just saw the Bruce Arians thing that he was retiring to go to front office. I can't think of any other sports news.
I have one more.
I know the owner or the GM, I think it's the owner of, it's not Calgary. Is it Winnipeg? One of the Canadian teams, their owner just passed away.
Oh,
this week too. See if
I think you said it earlier this week. I think it is Calgary. Or maybe it is Winnipeg. They both sound right.
They do. It's hard to keep up with. You get into yours while I try to find it.
Oh, MLB news. Albert Pujols got a 1-year deal to the Cardinals.
Yes, I do remember that. I forgot.
And definitely he's retiring.
Right.
Because 1-year deal going back to the team
you spent the most time with.
A lot of time with.
Yeah.
Just makes sense.
Good for him.
He's old, so he doesn't really have a lot of gas left in the tank.
Right.
Kind of sad for the Dodgers, but they got him while they had him, and he didn't really do a whole lot there. So, but yeah, that's gonna be fun to see.
Yeah, it'll be cool to watch.
Because that's where one of my older friends. We don't really talk much, but big Cardinals fan, and I kind of got into watching or paying attention to Albert Pujols' career because of him being a Cardinals fan.
Right.
Watching him go to the Angels made me sad, even though I'm not a huge Albert Pujols fan.
Just because you know what he meant to.
Yeah. Or just like anybody that gets moved from a team, like we had said with what happened with the Cubs. And I remembered the third person. I didn't remember in that episode, but it was Chris Bryant.
Okay.
And Rizzo and Javier Baez.
Okay.
No, I said Chris Bryant the first time. It was Javier Baez that I didn't remember. But yeah, when those three dudes got dealt from Chicago, I was upset.
Yeah.
And I'm not a Cubs fan, but especially, I said this in that episode, but the Rizzo leaving, that was sad.
Right. Now I'm disagreeing with everything. It was Ottawa Senators. It wasn't either team I said.
It's still Canada.
It was the owner of the Ottawa Senators. Yeah. I knew it was Canadian. I just couldn't remember which team.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. It's been a sad episode.
This is a sadder episode. So sorry about that, but
yeah, hopefully, if you like Foo Fighters, you enjoyed listening to this, or if you don't know much about them, it made you want to go listen to them and just go listen if you haven't. Appreciate everything that Taylor did while he was here. Yeah. I'm losing it again. I'm losing the plot again.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Go follow us on social medias, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Go subscribe. Like this video.
Share it.
Go like the video if you're listening to the audio.
Yeah.
Share it with your friends. Share it with your family. We'd appreciate it.
Not our family, though.
Yeah, I don't want... Well, my mom could listen. I don't care. I don't think she would want to, though. I don't know how she would. She could barely text me.
I think my mom listened to the first episode, and that was it.
She was like,
not for me.
Who the hell is Miley Cyrus? Your mom doesn't sound like that at all.
No.
That's my generic mom voice.
It was solid. It was a good one.
I have one, so that's where I got it from. My mom doesn't sound like that either, though.
Bye-bye now.
Take your pictures down and shake it out. Truth or consequence. Jimmy.